By the end of this video, you will understand two-step equations. Here we want to solve two-step equations. So first, let's review what are the steps to solving an equation like x minus 11 equals 11. Remember, our goal is always to use our inverse in order to isolate the variable. So isolate means to get the letter by itself. Because I have my variable x on this left side, my goal is to do something with the 11, the constant, to move to the right side of the equation. So because I see a minus, I need to do the inverse of a minus, which is going to be a plus. And I'm going to add the same constant on both sides because I always want to maintain equality. And now I'm going to simplify to see what I have. So because it says minus 11, that is technically negative 11 plus 1. Negative 11 plus 11, which is going to give me the value of 0. So this is going to give me a variable that is by itself. And now on the right side, I can do 11 plus 11, which is going to give me 22. So that means that the value of x is really the number 22 to make this equation true. So in this problem, our question changed because now I have a coefficient with my variable. So this 2 is considered a coefficient. It is attached to my variable. And my goal is to always remove this last. So I'm first going to move my constant, negative 11, by doing inverse operations. So because I have a minus 11, this means that I'm going to add 11 on both sides. And then I'm going to simplify. So negative 11 plus 11 is going to give me the value 0. And 11 plus 11 is going to give me 22. So now my constant has moved and I only have 2x. So 2 is my coefficient and x is my variable. So I'm almost isolated my variable. So now I'm going to remove the coefficient, that is the 2, by doing inverse operation. Because the 2 is attached to the x, this means 2 times x, and the inverse of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So here, when I divide 2 by 2, that gives me the value of technically the number 1. However, we do not need to write 1x, so I can just write the variable x by itself. It is implied that there is an x in front of this 1. And then 22 divided by 2 is 11. So this means that the solution to this equation is x equals 11. This means that anyway I can replace the letter x with the number 11 and get a true statement. So if I wanted to check my work, I can go ahead and replace x with the numbers 11 and evaluate. So if I go ahead and do that, I end up with 11 equals 11. This is a true statement, so I know that my work is correct. So there are certain steps that we always have to follow when trying to solve an equation. This is a good suggested outline. Step 1, identify my variable. So in this case, my variable is p. Step 2, combine like terms on each side. So if I look to the left side, I'm going to see if there's any like terms. In this case, I do not have anything. So I'm going to just bring down the negative 16. On the right side, I'm going to try and find like terms. I see that 4 is a constant and 4 is another constant on the right side of the equal sign. So there are like terms, numbers without letters. So I'm going to combine them. We read from left to right. So I'm going to go 4 plus 4. That gives me the number 8. Then I'm going to bring down the minus 4p because there is no other like terms. Step 3 is to move constants to one side. So negative 16 is a constant, however, it's not on the variable side. So my goal is to move this positive 8. Because it is a positive, the goal is to do inverse, which is minus, and I'm going to keep the balance by doing on both sides. So 8 minus 8 is going to give me 0. So the goal is always to make a constant turn into 0. And negative 16 minus 8 is negative 24. Again, I'm going to bring down everything I did not use. So my last step is going to be to remove the coefficient. So the coefficient is the number attached to my variable p. Because it is being multiplied, the inverse is to divide. So I'm going to divide the coefficient. So negative 4 divided by negative 4 is going to give me a 1, which I do not need to write. It is implied. So we have P equals negative 24 divided by negative 24 is positive 6. I'm going to box in my answer to make sure that my work is nice and organized. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, or share with fellow educators or students.